Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be looking at a band I've not heard before. I've not heard of them before. They're a band called Nytt or Nytt. Not sure how it's pronounced. Anyway, as is my normal, had to do a little bit of research to find out more about the band, and there is quite a lot of information about them, but I've pulled out some small chunks here. It says Nytt, or Nytt, however it's pronounced, are a two-piece Nordic folk and ambient metal band from Kalachinsk in Siberia, Russia, started by husband and wife Natalie and Natalia Pakalenko in 2013. They released 4 albums independently before joining UK-based label Cold Spring Records for their 2017 release, Fimbulvinter. There we go. They have supported Ward Runner, a band I have heard of, but I don't think I've actually covered them on the channel before, on their Russian tour, and have played at Viking folk and metal festivals across Europe, including their debut 2018 show in the UK at York Barbican as part of the York Viking Centre's Jorvik Festival. In August of 2021, the band released their third album, Ritual, through Napalm Records. Reviews called the album striking, elegant and haunting, and a transportive hallucination wafting across the tundra. It's quite a way to describe an album. The band debuted the album with a live stream performance on Napalm Records' YouTube channel. The style of the band has been compared to that of Wardrunner and Dunheim, with added traditional throat singing and handmade traditional instruments such as the kantele and the talharpa. The band have stated they are inspired by the sounds of Siberian nature, and their records have included live recordings of raven calls and other forest sounds. Their music has been variously described by reviewers as truly authentic, dark and mystical, and as keeping history alive. Thematically, their work echoes many stories from Norse mythology and historic texts such as the poetic Edda. Ada? I can never remember how it's pronounced. In keeping with the tradition, much of Nytt's lyrics are written in and sung in the Old Norse language. Now, I can't remember the name of the track I'm looking at now. What are we looking at? We're looking at a track called Blood of the North. Now, I tried looking for lyrics for this track. I could not find any. Now, like it said at the end of that thing, many of their songs are sung in Old Norse language. So that could possibly be one reason why I couldn't find any lyrics, because maybe they couldn't be translated. I don't know, but I was unable to find any lyrics. So we're just going to be looking at the music and seeing what we think of that. Mystical folk Viking inspired music sounds interesting. I've listened to a fair share of that on this channel and in personal life, so let's jump into this and see what we've got. So Blood of the North by Nytt or Nytt. Don't know how it's pronounced. Anyway, let's have a look. Well, I think that explains why I couldn't find any lyrics. There were none. And it would possibly seem that I have picked the only track of theirs that didn't actually have any lyrics, unless they are... No, they can't be purely instrumental, because it says the lyrics are written in Old Norse language. So, yeah, I found probably one of the few tracks that didn't have any. So, there we go. As a piece of music itself, I mean, I've mentioned a few times on this channel that I really love instrumental music. You know, I can quite happily sit, chill out to just purely instrumental music. In fact, I like listening to instrumental music whilst I'm writing, so it doesn't distract me. It just sort of sits there in the background and gives me something to listen to. So, you know, I do like instrumental music, and it sounded a very beautiful piece of music. You know, that instrument that was being played, I'm not sure if that was the kantele or the talharpa or whatever else it might have been. But it had a lovely sound to it. It sounded very much like some of the old sort of ancient Chinese and even Mongolian instruments. You know, it had a very, very nice sound to it, and you know, it was a good sort of tribal sounding piece of music. I very much enjoyed it. It's just a shame that the specific track I got given didn't have any example of their vocals in, because I would have liked to have explored that. So if anybody can actually suggest me a track by this band that might have vocals in it, you know, that would be greatly appreciated, because I'd be very curious and very interested to, to see, you know, what their music is like as a whole, because you know, I've mentioned several times that I won't judge a band on just one example of their music alone. You know, I'd like to get a wider idea of what they're like. But I mean, as far as a piece of music goes, it's a really nice piece of music. You know, I could see myself quite happily laying there in the dark, just chilling out to that piece of music. You know, very nice piece of music, very nice, very relaxed, very chill piece of music. Sounded great, but I would like to explore them further. So any suggestions of tracks of theirs would be greatly appreciated. So really, I don't know really what else I can say about that. I mean, the video looked great. It had a very sort of pagan feel to it. And yeah, there's not really much else I can say on that. So, yeah, I'm going to leave that as it is. So, thank you all very, very much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.